Painting is something unique. You can never truly see the way someone else sees the world until you see it through the hands of a skilled artist who has sat in the mud and the sun and the rain in order to bring their experience to life. But painting from life is a genuinely different experience from painting from a photograph. Now, that sounds like a purist statement, but I guarantee it's not. So let's talk about it. There's something fundamentally dead about a photograph. I'm sure you've had the experience before, seeing an amazing vista, pulling out your camera to capture it and then checking back on the screen, only to find that the joy and the depth and the rich experience you were aiming to capture fell flat in the face of a few pixels. A perfect, sterile, frozen moment that never actually existed, except for in that 100th of a second. But painting from life, that's raw, that's real. When you're standing there, your easel planted in some godforsaken street in the corner of Hanoi, or in a windswept cliff in Patagonia, you're not capturing a moment, you're experiencing it. And working to put that experience onto a canvas. Every brushstroke a negotiation, every line a conversation with a reality that refuses to be simplified, refuses to be contained. But here's the real kicker. You, the human, are the one experiencing it firsthand. Two eyes whose depth perception is fundamentally different from the camera's single shutter. Find colors and values that the camera just can't find. You're an amazingly complex system of information that is a culinary feast compared to that saltine reality that we call the camera. And I don't mean to put cameras down. They are useful, but they're a tool, and you are the result of hundreds of thousands of years of physiological and psychological evolution. Those plein air artists out there, they're the street food chefs of the visual world. No pretension, no fuss, delivering pure, raw life, filtered only by the human experience. Today, we're painting in Yellowstone National Park, in the caldera of one of the largest volcanoes of the world, left behind by an eruption 640,000 years ago. I headed out into the wilderness by the campsite to find this beautifully pristine river. And what really took me was the plant life seated beneath the surface of the water. But it's such a subtle, small series of volumes, bobbing, weaving together, that in order to make it work as a painting, I actually needed to anchor it down visually with that grassland and the background mountains, texture within texture and shape within shape. The visual language can be weird and abstract at the best of times. And this was not the best of times, but it was a genuinely pure human experience here in Yellowstone. There's so many absolutely amazing things to paint here at Yellowstone. It's just crazy. There's a geyser over there called Steady Geyser, and it is basically just going constantly. But what I found is this almost like a little waterfall right here. And there's just an immense amount of beauty and clarity in the colors in this little waterfall, which is offset by just that constant steam drifting off. And I absolutely love this. I absolutely love the amorphous, complete ethereal, ghost-like steam rising up, and then something really solid down below. So I'm gonna try and play those off of each other. Obviously that steam is gonna be constantly changing forever, absolutely forever. And we'll have a little sneak peek of the geyser actually in the back. So let's get going. I've gotta prepare my paper. We're gonna use gouache today, and let's see what happens. The hardest part about this so far is just getting, the whole landscape changes every single time that the wind changes direction. And so right now, the wind is going this way. So everything over here that was in clarity is now obscured, and everything over there that was obscured is a little bit more clear. So we're gonna have a little bit of a difficult time just trying to get this sorted out, which is fine. This is what happens. This is the price we pay for having fun. So while this is happening, until it sort of moves the other direction and we find a little bit more of the colors in here, I'm gonna work on the foreground to try and get some of that feeling in here, because this is really the place where things are clear for me. If the directionality of this painting wasn't baked into the very first thing that I did with it, I would want to change it so that the wind is actually going the other way. Whew. Because right now, just literally everything is changed by this sort of direction. So the Kepler Cascades here are absolutely gorgeous, but I think that view is it's a little too far away for my liking. It's a little bit too impersonal, I suppose. It'd be really hard to get right. So we're gonna go on a little trail, see if we can find an offshoot that leads me a little bit closer to the waterfalls, a little bit closer to maybe something that would actually make a good painting. It's amazing how many things are absolutely beautiful that would make a terrible painting. It's because the visual language is different from the spoken language. It's different from just the purely emotional language, though all three of those things are connected. But we have to be talking visual language first to sort of engage the other two in an effective way in a painting. So we'll go find something that works for the visual language and see what we can do. Here, take a look at this view. I need to be very particular about how I'm going to paint this. There's some part of it where it's all very uniform, it's all very even, and quite oftentimes that makes things feel artificial. But I think that there's enough chaos in it that if I kind of selectively choose where I'm putting my focus and my attention, I can make something that is at least a little bit effective. So I think the interesting part is that the sun is obviously going to move, but I think it's going to be fine for a little while. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. This is a challenge. That's the only way, so let's go ahead and do it. No, 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 no. You guys don't know how often I have painted something and you just never get to see it because of a technical error. Well, I guess we're gonna go and have a look at that waterfall painting, see how it ended up. And then we're gonna head into Yellowstone one last time. See if we can pull together a full painting for this thing. All right, let's do it. One of the hard parts about working with really intense colors in watercolor or gouache is that you put them down and then as they dry, we lose a lot of that color content. And so it becomes like kind of a little bit hard to predict exactly what's going to happen. In this painting, I've had to sort of push and push and push and keep pushing that color to try and get the intensity that I'm after. It would obviously make a better painting if I was just to kind of get it in one. I haven't had to really try and push into these kind of blues before, so it's all a bit of a learning experience. I really enjoyed this.